Hey gang, Winter NAMM 2015 here with Chaz, right, from Michael Kelly Guitars. Gonna tell us what's new for 2015. What do you got for us, man?
We got all kinds of new stuff this year, beginning with the Michael Kelly acoustic line, which got a total overhaul this year. And we can pretty much break it down into two classes. We've got the Triad Series, which the name Triad refers to the three-piece back, which is included on each one of these models. This particular one is the Triad Port, and you'll notice it's got the side ports on here, which is something you only usually find on high-end handcrafted instruments. We're taking this technology and putting it into very affordable price points. And what that does is it really projects the sound out the top, so when you're playing it, you get a better experience as a player. You're getting the sound holes hitting you in the face as well as coming out the front.
And these are going for how much on the street?
Well, this particular one maps around $399. We do have a model, the Triad CE, which maps at $299. And again, very good price points, and it follows Michael Kelly's theme of boutique on a budget. So these are brand new for this year. We went to the pinless bridge to make it real easy and to switch out strings, and I had to deal with bridge pins and things like that. This is another part of the Triad line. This is the Triad 10E. I should first of all mention all these Triads have the discrete Fishman preamp with the controls inside the sound hole here, and it is an active system. But what makes this particular model unique, right away you'll notice it's a 10-string, which is pretty unique for an acoustic guitar. The reason we decided to do 10 on this, for a few reasons. 10 rather than 12 gives us, allows us to have a smaller, shorter headstock, less tension on the bridge. And as far as the sound quality goes, we kind of felt that in your traditional 12-string, when you're doubling the bass strings, you're not really adding a whole lot to the definition of the overall sound. You're
it's shimmering where it counts.
Exactly. And so rather than muddy up the low end, we just kept those single. And this works particularly cool if you're doing like some alternate bass lines with your strumming. And so you got that single note bass line going on. And then the high strings, that fills out the sound. That's like the rest of the orchestra, you know what I mean? So this is brand new and very unique, and it maps around $399. Then moving on with the other line of acoustics, this is the Forte Series. Again, we wanted to follow that Michael Kelly theme of high-end boutique look and features, and you'll notice right away this has some pretty cool, highly figured quilt maple top, back and sides with some unique stains. Again, the bridgeless or pinless bridge, and these are Florentine cut. And they have the same Fishman system with the discrete controls inside. Again, $299 map, which is a great price point for a guitar with that type of highly figured wood. We're doing some different stain colors. This is the blue, and there's a black as well. This one's actually same price, $299. And then this is another Forte model that we're experimenting with some really unique finishes, just to kind of give people different options, And that's the inlay there at the 12th fret. So then continuing on, this is the Forte Port model. Now right away you'll notice this has a unique sound hole placement, which not only gives the guitar a different appearance altogether, but it affects the frequency response as well. You really get a lot more low end out of that sound hole placement. And this one's in a satin finish. $249 street price. So we were able to get that one down a little lower because of the satin finish, which personally I prefer. The wood seems to breathe and resonate a little more on a satin. Then rounding off the new acoustics, this is the Forte Port X. Again, with the port sound hole design. And this particular one is in a winter white finish. It also comes in the partial eclipse finish, which I don't have one here, but I'll show you on one of the new electrics here shortly. And this really cool quilt, natural quilt. And then we stained the back and sides. But again, a lot of guitar for $299. Now last year, you may know, we came out with our 50 series of guitars, which is basically our single cutaway bolt-on or telly style guitars, and they took off and continued to sell very well. So the natural progression was to roll over into a double cutaway Strat body this year. So this is our 60 series. And again, we didn't want to do another Me Too Strat. You know, we wanted to come out with some high-end boutique features, you know, highly figured quilt tops, different pickup configurations, some special wiring, which we'll go through here in a minute. But again, really good price points. And they start down here with the 1963, which is a $399 map, you know, flame maple top, hum single, master volume, master tone, 5-way switch. We're using some really cool wood binding on all these. And, you know, features you normally find in a boutique Strat, you know, 3 times the price of these things, you know. But then moving up the line, this is the 64. It's kind of our super Strat style. We put a Floyd Rose, our rock-filled pickups. This particular model has the 1/4-inch pole pieces. So more punch, more output. Of course, master tone, master volume, 5-way switch. Gorgeous quilt maple top. And this one has the ash back, which is a great tone wood. Then moving on, we got the 65, which again are rock filled pickups. One thing I'll point out on the 65, as well as the 67 here, which is the top of the line of the 60 series, we came up with a fairly unique wiring system here. We wanted to come up with a way to get as much usable tonal options out of this pretty standard Strat setup as we could. And I don't think we reinvented the wheel here. This may have been done before, I don't know, but I think it's really cool. Basically what it is, with this dip switch up, this works as your standard 5-way switching on the Strat, nothing new there. When you coil tap with a push-pull on the volume bridge, it coil taps the bridge, and we switch the wires here, so it's tapping this one, it's leaving the bridge coil nearest the bridge on, which is a little brighter than the inner coil. But the main reason I did that is when you turn this mini toggle on, this turns the neck pickup on in the positions where typically it is not. So that being said, when you have your bridge on, you coil tap it, and then you throw on the neck, you got the outside coils on. Real twangy, telly, country style sound, which is very cool. And then my favorite is actually second position here, which typically, as you know on a Strat, are your bridge and your middle, but when you throw this guy on, you got all 3 on at the same time. So you got all 3 either single coils, or you can pull that down and have the humbucker working in conjunction with the 2 singles. Very high output, cool sounding. So every one of these sounds in here is a very usable sound. That's what we wanted to achieve here. I've experimented with like different phasing and things like that, which always seems to sound cool, but don't really get used too often. So I wanted to come out with as many usable sounds as possible in the 65. And then here's the same thing in the 67. And this is the top of the line of the 60 series. This has a Duncan in the bridge, and then our rock-filled pickups in the center and the neck position. Has gold hardware, and we're doing some different finishes. Of course, quilt top, and again, just a beautiful ash body on this thing. Oh, one thing I should point out on the 65 and 67, we got on a lot of the forums, and which we like to, see what people are up to with they're doing their own modifications and things, and try to learn from that. And as you know, a lot of Strat players will remove their trim cover on the back. And I always thought, it's a good way for like switching out springs in a hurry, if you're changing gauge of strings or what have you. But then we found a lot of guys are removing it, saying that when you really crank through an amp, it affects the tone of the guitar. So that was a new concept to me. I hadn't even thought of that. So rather than we thought, well, maybe we should ship these without the cover. But then rather than do that, we thought we'd design a new backplate that's really open like that, so the sound breathes through it when this guitar is vibrating. And so that's something unique, another little boutique feature that we've added to this line.
All right, Chaz, you got a website, right?
Absolutely, we do. It's very simple, michaelkellyguitars.com, which shows all the new products as well as all the last year's products, which are still part of the line, or michaelkellyguitars.com/catalog to download your digital version of the new catalog.
I know. Check it out. Signing off from Winter NAMM 2015.